in today's video, we're starting a new tier list series. I've decided to move over to the assists. The only fair way I decided that I could do this is to break them down by what they do and what they specialize in. And I'm gonna order these tier lists based on how important I think they are and how to prioritize them. So basically what I'm saying is, this tier list right here, to me, in my opinion, is the most important assist you need to put in your team when you're team building. So you go your adventurers and then you move straight on. If you hadn't guessed, based on the units that you can see on the screen, we are working with physical resist and magic resist debuffing assists. Yes, I think they are the most important assists to try and put on your team when you're team building. Now, before we get into that, I did say in a few other videos, if I got subscribers or followers on YouTube or Twitch and I get the notification through, that means you've made it public that you followed me, and I get those notifications on my mini feed right here on Streamlabs, I would give you your animation in my video. And there are a few. Now, I took the day off yesterday, so from here on out, just assume that I do not upload on Sundays. I do not stream on Sundays. I'm spending the day with my son on Sundays. So I've had a few I've had a few followers over on Twitch, and I'm gonna play their animations out now. It might take a couple of minutes, so just bear with me, or what I can do is I can put timestamps so you can skip ahead of the animation callouts for people that have followed. Right, so starting off, we have Frank. Thank you so much for the follow. Aeon Gosh, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for the follow. It's very much appreciated. Ender, thank you for the follow over on Twitch, bro. It is very much appreciated. Tatiki? Tatiki? I think I got that right. Thank you for the follow, bro. I appreciate everything. I'm just going to call you Max or Scott, but thank you for the follow, dude. It is super appreciated. Dumboy. I can read, I promise. Thank you for the follow, bro. It is super appreciated. I think I may be super close to getting 50 followers. And finally, Kalpang, thank you for the follow. It is super appreciated. I love every single one of you. I'm not sure how close I am to getting affiliate now, but I'm pretty sure I'm nearly there. Anyway, so that aside, thank you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for the follows. It's been amazing, the support I've been getting, especially moving to a new platform. So I appreciate that a lot. Right, now we're gonna jump into the tier list, and don't mind me, I've just got my notes that I'm reading from here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way up, and starting off straight off the bat, we're going to put this Take, which is a 2-star Take. If you didn't know, right at the bottom, he gives, when he's MLB, 5% physical resist debuff to foes. Now, when you're starting out, if you have nothing, sorry about that, that's my phone. If you have nothing going for you, but you have this Take, guarantee you do have this Take, because 2 stars are extremely easy to get. But he had to be on the tier list because he provides physical resist debuff. But moving on from there, we have this Feistus. Now, she is going to be up here in C tier. Now, she is a 3-star unit, but at max limit break, she gives you 15% physical resist debuff to all enemies. So the reason she's in C tier, even though she provides 15% resistance debuff, is because she is a 3-star, which means she comes with a serious amount of lacking stats. So the lower stats, I keep doing it, I keep looking up at the light instead of the camera. I'm sorry. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but yeah, being a 3-star, even though she provides 15% physical resistance debuff, she also comes with really low stats because she's a 3-star. So I can't bring her up to B tier. She is definitely a C tier. Moving across, however, in the same bracket, we have the trickster goddess Loki, who does exactly the same thing, only for magic resist. She provides 15% magic resist reduction to all enemies, and is a 3-star. So if you're starting out and you have no 4-stars, and I mean no 4-stars, and you need that, obviously you're going to need those resistance debuffs. You're taking the game slowly, you want to build a team that's going to work for you. These two are probably the best way to start out if you don't want to summon, and if you just want to use, well, I say don't want to summon. If you summon, then you've only got some 3-stars. If you're really struggling for physical resistance or magic resistance debuffs, these 2 3-stars can carry you through quite a lot, even though they are 3-stars, so they do have or suffer from those lower stats. Next up, we have in C tier, Day of Exploring Hestia. Now, this Hestia max limit broken gives you minus 10% physical resist and magic resist, but the reason she's in C tier is because it's only 10%. 10% when max limit broken, which is pretty low, given that I would set the standard at 15%. So at average, like if you had just a normal team put together, 15% would probably be the minimum of what you want to aim for. So being 10%, even though it is physical resist and magic resist, so I understand what they were trying to do, and she is a little bit of an older unit now, which is why it is 10%, but it's still lower than what I would say is the standard. Okay, so we're jumping up a tier now to B tier. Now we're going to start off right here with the Chief Goddess Hestia. Now, if you weren't aware, she came with the Date Alive collab banners. At max limit broken, she provides you with minus 10% agility to enemies and minus 15% physical resistance to enemies. This is what I'm saying. These B tier units right here are the units that I would say set the standard. These are the ones you want to go for at max limit broken, or at least have this level of resistance either in physical or magical. 15% is where you want to set the bar. Like if it's below 15%, you do not want to accept it. It's not good enough. Okay, up next we have the Devoted Hand Seer, relatively new unit, and she provides at max limit broken physical resist and magic resist minus 15% and nullifies 3 ailments. Now the thing is, the reason that she is actually, you know what? This is not true. I'm actually going to bump her up to A tier because she provides a lot more coverage. 15% may be the standard, but she nullifies 3 ailments at max limit break. This is great for Record Buster. Well, Record Buster is kind of a null point, really, given that you'll probably be running Glorious Anklets anyway, but significantly more valuable in Wargame, because if you hadn't noticed, there's a large group of people that have decided they're going to be assholes and they're going to run and spam ailments. And to be fair, ailments currently, if you can't beat light team comps or the light team comps, ailments are probably the cheese way to victory. So yeah, she's kind of a necessity at the moment. So I'm going to throw her in the A tier just because she provides that additional benefit, specifically in Wargame, over the other units that are going to be in the B tier. Next up we have Black Rose Hephaestus. Now she is in B tier. At max limit break, she provides minus 15% physical resist and minus 10% guard rate. Now if you weren't aware, guard rate, lowering guard rate can only mean more damage. So look, I don't know whether I would say she's better than the Hestia in that sense, but they both provide more than just the physical resist debuff, so that's another reason they're sitting in B tier. But lowering guard rate probably makes her better for Record Buster and 7th Zone and things of those natures, whereas the Hestia is probably better used in Wargame, given that she lowers agility, and that's kind of an unimportant, well, I won't say unimportant, it's a second-rate stat outside of Wargame. Okay, so next up we are backtracking a little bit here, and we are going to take this Ishtar. Now if you weren't aware, this Ishtar provides minus 10% physical resist and magic resist. Oh, sorry, minus 10% physical resist, magic resist, and agility, as well as 100% poison resist at max limit break. Now, although she provides a lot, and I mean a lot, she covers a broader spectrum than a lot of these other units that you're going to see on this tier list. They're sort of subpar when it comes to the standard. Like, you could run assists that cover maybe 1 or 2 things at a higher percentage that she covers and still make up or not lose anything for your whole team comp. So I don't think she sits any higher than C tier. Although, please understand that these lists do not mean that any of these units are bad. I'm just giving you an understanding of what they do, and you know, if you had them maxed out, which ones would be preferable. Moving on, we have another collab unit right here. We have the, what's it called? Uncontrollable Titan Eren. Now, at max limit break, he provides 45% stun resistance, as well as a minus 15% physical resistance to enemies. Now, that stun resistance is pretty crap, sitting at 45%. That's really bad. So we're just going to ignore that altogether, and we're going to take it as though he only provides the minus 15% physical resistance debuff, and that alone is good enough for him to be sitting at B tier, but he's probably going to be sitting on the tail end of B tier. So if you have to choose and you have any of these B tier units max limit broken, he's probably the last choice you want to go for. Next up, we have the Banquet Attire Hermes. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky for me, because this Hermes basically only provides at max limit break minus 20% magic resistance. Now, if you hadn't noticed, I will backtrack back and forth to different tiers depending on units that I've missed. I'm trying to get a feel for how I should run these videos, but right now, I was going to do it through tiers. Right now, I'm just going to go through the unit list and see what happens. So the Banquet Attire Hermes, I'm going to put right here A tier. Now, the reason I'm doing that is he doesn't provide anything else, but he does give minus 20% magic resist to foes. So it sort of steps it up a notch there with the additional 5% magic resistance debuff. That definitely is going to increase your damage output if you get him max limit broken. Like I said, some of these units are relatively older than others, but so the bigger difference there is if you have them max limit broken, being older, they're probably going to have lower stats. So that is something to keep in mind when you are choosing between them, if you have options, that is. And the same thing can be said right here for this clumsy detective Anya. She's going to be sitting right in A tier as well, simply because she provides nothing else but minus 20% physical resistance when she's MLB'd. Again, relatively older compared to the others, so the stats may not match up, but increasing the physical resistance standard to 20% when maxed out so far earns that A tier. Okay, now we're moving on to Colonel Demeter, and right here, this is going to be the first taste of S tier units. The reason we're doing that is at max limit broken, she provides crit and magic resist minus 25% to all foes, and then a self 10% crit buff to enemies. Now, boy, that makes her so amazing for boss fights and record buster. And well, if you can set it up correctly, War Game 2, she's pretty much an all-rounder and great no matter where you want to put her, because you can never underestimate the value of reducing someone's ability to crit you and increasing your own, on top of having 20% magic resist debuff. Top that with some pretty amazing magic stat, you have yourself a perfect magic assist. Next up, we have the Dreaming Goddess Hestia. Now, this one right here is a little bit of a tricky one, but we're literally going to put her in B tier, and she's going to be going ahead of Eren. We need to make sure that everyone's ahead of Eren at least. At max limit broken, she will provide 100% sleep resist and 15% physical magic resist debuff. So we're sitting at that standard 15%, which is what I said you should set the bar to with expectation. Do not drop lower than 15%. It's not worth. And also provides 100% sleep resist. So if you had her MLB, she may have even been useful this current record buster with the Fire Reveria. Next up, we're moving on to Ares. Now, again, we're going to take a second taste of the S tier life here, and the reason being that Ares himself actually provides minus 20% physical resistance, has an amazing strength stat, but at the same time provides minus 20% crit and penetration. If you ask me, he is, even in S tier, come on, no, we're gonna have to bring her back, sorry, there you go. Even in S tier, he is far superior to Demeter. So if you have the chance or option and the account to choose what you want to run and have no qualms about it, then having a physical team just to be able to run Ares is probably more beneficial than running Demeter anyway. That's just my opinion. You can disagree with that all you want, that's just my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. Next up, we have Golden Wheat Demeter. Now, I am putting her in B tier because, oh wait, no, ahead of Eren, it needs to be done. At max limit broken, she provides minus 15% magic resist. The sun is coming up and is going to ruin the camera. I can see it, I can sense it, I just know. Let me check it. We're good right now, but let me just... Okay, so next up we have the Golden Wheat Demeter. Now I'm going to put her here in B tier ahead of Eren because everyone in B tier is better than Eren anyway. And at max limit broken, she will provide you with minus 15% magic resistance and minus 10% guard rate. As I said before, a lowered guard rate will increase the damage output you can apply. So she deserves to be in B tier and definitely meets the standard 15%. Like I said, don't drop below 15%. It's not worth. Moving on, we actually have Orna, another time limited unit, and I'm going to put her dead in A tier. Now, Orna provides minus 15% physical resist and magic resist at max limit broken, but also provides plus 30% counter and guard rate buff to self. Now, it may not be the entire team, but putting her on a team makes her the perfect, and I mean definitely the perfect partner for Haruhime, because you want your Haruhime to live, so guard is pretty decent, as well as you want in Haruhime to heal, so the counter rate is definitely there as well. Her stats are relatively good even for a year-old unit. Is it longer than a year now? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure she came out last anniversary. Not this one, just gone, the one before. Anyway, right, so yes, the A tier. And finally, we are moving on to Lily. Now, this may surprise you, but Lily is hitting up the S tier. Now, the reason I feel like this Lily belongs in S tier is because she provides, at max limit broken, minus 15% physical resist, magic resist, and thunder resist. So, let me get this straight. If you have, and if you were lucky enough to MLB both Fina and Thunder Argo before the anniversary started, and you MLB this Lily, she alone provides an additional 30% damage to both of those units, because she's lowering both the element and the type damage. And I'm sorry if the sun is glaring on my face. I am losing track of my camera. Yeah, the sun's botched up my green screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off, to be fair. So here we are looking at the tier list right now. Let's go through from D tier to S tier. D tier, Take provides minus 5% at max limit broken. The C tier, now we have 2 free stars that provide minus 15% of their specific typing. So Hephaestus is physical resist minus 15%. Loki is 15% minus magic resistance, and then we have the Hestia minus 10% physical resist and magic resist is pretty crap, and the Ishtar, so I always forget her name, I don't know why. So the 10% squad sitting here in the C tier, as well as the 2 free stars. B tier is your standard. Do not drop below 15%. This is what I've been saying all video. They all provide minus 15% of the specific type that they go for, as well as at least one other significant debuff or buff to your team. A tier sitting right here with at least 15% to Eva and or physical resist, magic resist, with the exception of the Hermes and the Anya, who provide minus 20%, but nothing else. The Orna and the Seer providing ailment resist for 3 turns, and Orna providing guard and counter to whatever unit you place her on. And then sitting at the top, relegated, all the way up here above everything else, we have Ares, Demeter, and Lily, who provide so much greatness. Minus 20% for the Ares physical resist, as well as minus 20% crit and pen he additionally adds, and then the Demeter minuses or lowers crit rate from the enemy and minuses magic resist by 20%. And then we have the Lily, who does 15% across the board for physical resist, magic resist, and thunder resist, which just basically adds up to a buttload of damage if you are running a mixed thunder team, or even a physical or thunder team. Either way, she alone increases the damage output of those units by 30%, and that is going to be the tier list. I will post this in 24 hours in my Discord, so if you want to come and check out this tier list at any point, join my Discord, link in the description. You can find it in the guides section. Now the sun has gone down. Let me bring my ugly mug back up to say goodbye to y'all. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like if you did, subscribe if you're not. Social media links will be in the description. Please remember that I now stream every Thursday and Friday over on Twitch, link in the description, at 8 PM GMT. So come and give me a follow, get your notification put in the video if you follow while I'm offline. And I love y'all. Wait, let me get my outro going, and I'll catch you later.
Fire!